Hello and welcome back to K-Pop Light, where we fangirl responsibly. My name is Lindsay.
And I'm Rachel. And today we're breaking down all of our thoughts on the Stray Kids concert we went to last night.
Yes, ma'am. We're fresh off the concert, feeling it in our minds, bodies, and souls pretty deeply. I feel a little bit tattled.
In a good way or bad way?
No, tired.
Okay, yeah, same. Yeah, I'm exhausted.
My body physically went through it. I guess I won't spoil it.
Yeah, we have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
We, in the car ride home from the concert last night, was like silent, and we kept like looking at each other because we were like, we want to dissect everything, but we got to save it for the pod. So
yeah, we were trying to like think of conversation points in the car, and we couldn't think of anything that we didn't want to save for the pod. So yeah, that was super funny. We're doing it all for you guys, so that we have a fresh combo. It's not something that we've already spoken about. My hands are also sore because we were grinding out some freebies, y'all, that in hindsight, we didn't need to go so hard on.
No, we always go a little bit too hard.
We can't half-ass something, and we like have to have something be cute and like handmade and just gorgeous.
Yeah, which ends up taking actually so long. We worked so hard on those freebies, and we totally missed the freebie exchange prime time.
Yep.
We were definitely a little bit late to showing up. I think we arrived at the concert around 5:30 after we got parked and everything. So I think the freebie exchanging happened earlier in the day. So,
but good news, I think we're gonna do a giveaway.
Yeah, we do have a few left over. So we were thinking about posting them on our Instagram and doing a little giveaway if anybody wants to enter that. They're really cute. They're these little stuffed bow keychains, and then we made a little photo strip of the Stray Kids boys. So it's really
super cute. Yeah, head to our Instagram because we'll post giveaway details there. We want more people to have them.
Yeah, but they were so hard to make, and we spent hours working on them.
I know.
It was fun though.
It was really fun, and I'm really proud because they're so cute, and we would never give out anything that wasn't cute. But moving forward, gonna put some less energy into it.
Or show up when we can actually exchange and like
get
talk
to the
people.
vibes.
Yeah, because it was just kind of a chaotic, like everyone's trying to get into the venue.
Yeah, I still feel very new about K-pop culture in those regards. I feel like people like talk about where they're gonna meet for the freebies, and there's like a culture to exchanging them. And I always tell Rachel before we go to concerts, like, I'm feeling so nervous. Like, I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to like ask people to exchange freebies.
Yeah.
It's kind of nerve-wracking.
No, it totally is.
I feel like an outsider a bit in that regard.
Yeah, to like just walk up to somebody and be like, do you want a freebie? Or do you want to exchange? Like, yeah, it takes a lot of courage.
And at one point, Rachel was trading with someone, and then Rachel was mobbed. Yeah. And I kind of felt like a security guard, and I kept being like, all right, we gotta go, because it was a big crowd, and they kept running up and being like, wait, can I get 3 more for my friends? And yeah, it was kind of intense.
I was feeling very overwhelmed.
You felt kind of famous. You were an idol. You now have been in their shoes.
Oh my gosh, I could never do it. I had like probably 15 people all crowding around trying to get one, and I was like, oh, like,
yeah. And imagine if some people like run up to get autographs from someone, and then people are like sad they didn't get an autograph or something. Yeah, it was kind of insane. And we eventually just physically ran away.
Yeah, literally.
Before it got out of hand. So that was wild. But if you're listening to this and got one of our freebies, that's really fun.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the blood, sweat, and tears that we poured into it.
Literally, I broke a needle because we were sewing them.
You kept breaking your nails, too.
I kept breaking my nails, swapping them backwards, screaming. Another benefit of the freebie making being an extended period of time is we did almost get through the whole Twilight series.
Yep. We were watching Twilight, and we watched many Stray Kids videos in preparation for the concert. So
yeah, we did.
It was not lost time.
No, it was productive. We really were wanting to watch some other things that were in the Korean language, and unfortunately, we don't speak Korean, and we have to have our eyes on the screen to understand it, so that was not possible.
Hence the Twilight.
Which
was great. I think I've successfully made Lindsay Team Jacob, transferred it over from Team Edward, which is pretty huge.
Throughout my whole, I was going to say life, but I guess I watched it at like 13. I was strongly Team Edward. He's cringing me the heck out on this rewatch. Mm-hmm. He's giving me nothing. He is giving me nothing.
It's giving toxic. It's giving controlling.
Yeah. I just thought like, oh, that's what love is. Like they have such a strong bond. In hindsight, Jacob is the way better option.
Team Jacob. Just take out that he falls in love with Bella's daughter. Just take that out. Wonderful man.
Yeah. Warm, cozy, fun man. The werewolf vibes are my type of vibes.
Yeah. They're so fun, lighthearted. Yeah. We have gotten so off track.
Well, I feel like people that like K-pop probably also like Twilight.
True.
And understand the power of that season in our life. That fangirl time.
It's iconic. Yeah.
It really is. And I've never watched it with Rachel, so to hear her quote every line has actually been magical and so impressive.
Only to Twilight, the first movie. I watch that probably every year, at least. It's a good one.
Where the hell you been, Loca? That's the second one.
New Moon. Yeah.
I know. So I guess there's some iconic quotes in the second one as well.
That's true. Hold
on, Spider Monkey. Say it out loud. Anyway.
Monkey man.
That's just my dramatic reciting of Twilight for y'all. Okay, where should we go next? So we made the freebies. We also made some funny content. There's a trend of where you lay in bed and you have your outfit you're going to put on top of you. Mm-hmm. I'm not explaining that very well.
Yeah, you're like laying in the covers and then your outfit's laying on top of the covers and you're like underneath it, and it's the Night Before Christmas poem. I could not keep a straight face. I fear that content is not up to par. But we'll still post it probably.
Fine. Yeah.
But I'm kind of turning my head and cracking up and talking to Lindsay.
Yeah. Yeah, because the whole day before the concert, we finished our freebies and then we just had time to like get ready and film stuff, which was fun.
Mm-hmm. Then once we got into the venue, we were there probably an hour and a half before the show started. So we just wandered around and took photos and filmed funny videos. And
yeah, that was nice having the time. And we were actually pleasantly surprised by our seats.
Yeah, we kind of had accidentally found our way up to one of the higher levels and we're wandering around. And then I turned to Lindsay and I was like, wait, what are our seats again? And she pulled them up and she was like, oh, it's 100 level. So we had to go back down.
It's a pleasant surprise.
Which is always a great surprise.
Because the 200 wasn't looking that bad.
No, we were like, wow, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we checked the tickets and we were like, oh my goodness. Yeah, our seats were pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, we were at 100 level. I will say I couldn't really tell who each person was on stage.
Yeah. Lindsay asked me that when we sat down and saw the stage. She was like, do you think we'll be able to see who they are when they're up there? And unfortunately we could not, except for Felix, who has blonde hair.
Yeah, they all need like a distinguishing feature.
Yeah,
so that I can tell.
They should all have a different hair color. That'd be super helpful.
A rainbow hair. An identifier. I want to add a funny anecdote that this concert was at the Globe Life Arena, which is the Texas Rangers MLB team where they play. And so baseball teams obviously have a lot of branding, a lot of sponsorships, a lot of collabs. We were under a Jack Daniels sign, which Bong Chan did reference during the show. Yeah. But there is also a Chick-fil-A sign. And Rachel so earnestly was like, since when is Stray Kids sponsored by Chick-fil-A? And I was thinking, I have not seen anything about that. She's like, that seems kind of like a weird partnership. And I'm thinking, I have never heard any K-pop group talking about eating Chick-fil-A. This seems kind of out of left field, no pun intended, because we were in left field. And then I was like, wait, what are you referencing? Like, where are you getting this information? And she points, she's like, look, right there. And on the foul ball post, there's a Chick-fil-A sign. And I go, oh, girly, this is a baseball field. I think the baseball team and stadium has a connection with Chick-fil-A. I don't think they put that sign up for Stray Kids.
Yeah, in my defense, they had put the top on the field, and it looked like you were inside in like a concert venue, and I just kind of forgot we were at a baseball field. So we were just like, it looks like you were in a concert venue, and then there's just this giant pole with Chick-fil-A plastered all over it, and I was like, wow, what an interesting partnership.
That's so funny.
Would not have expected that.
No, that'll be a memory I take with me. Me trying to understand, what are you talking about?
I was like, it's literally right there.
Like,
it was like, huge.
Well, they called Felix like the chick. Like, maybe that's the connection. Like grasping at anything to make it make sense.
Yeah, that was my bad.
I'm surprised Bangchan said Jack Daniels during the thing, because
I was too. You're not allowed to say brand names. Yeah.
Maybe they have up and coming collab. He
Spoiler?
loves that.
Yeah, we have a lot of thoughts on the venue itself in terms of the concert vibe and sound quality as well.
Yeah. I think my takeaway is I don't like baseball stadiums for concerts.
No. And I don't want to be negative here. I love the Stray Kids boys. They are so talented, and we will talk about that. But the sound quality was terrible.
So bad.
Like, I think I understood approximately 10% of what Bangchan was saying. He was narrating the whole concert, which, again, I know we have points about. But he was pretty much the only one who talked. And I can understand him when I listen to him in videos and clips and interviews. I only understood like 10% of what he said, because the sound quality was so terrible.
Bad. We could not hear them speaking at all, and we couldn't really hear them singing either. Like, no. I don't think I can speak on like how well their voices sounded, because I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
And even beyond like the audio mixing being bad because the vocals were not high enough, like the actual band sound very muffled. It wasn't a crisp sound either, like the tracks or the band or any of the backing. So that was kind of upsetting, because it kind of just sounded like we were at like a party.
Yeah.
Or,
muffled is a good word. I just feel like we could tell what song it was, but beyond that, we couldn't really hear any of the words that they were saying.
Yeah, no, it's still fun because we were dancing and we know some of the songs, but to actually hear the men do their thing,
yeah,
it was not the best.
And we're comparing this to 17, who we saw last fall, which was a much smaller venue and actually in a place that was kind of designed to be a concert venue. But I turned to Lindsay last night and I was like, I just remember so clearly how we heard DK and Seungkwan's vocals like super crisp. And then we compared to last night, it was like I could barely hear them.
Yeah, and this is nothing. Like, this is not Stray Kids' fault.
No, they're so talented.
It was
so
just
good. It was
the
sound quality.
Sound quality, and I don't know if it was like the mixing and something needed to be tweaked, or if it's just that venue is not conducive. But yeah, I think I'm realizing that arenas are kind of the best.
Yeah,
which is what we saw Stray Kids in. Which like that's usually like top
17.
Oh, sorry, that's what we saw 17 in. It's usually like what 20,000 tops.
Yeah.
And it's always inside, and like it's built for concerts.
Yeah. Because even we were pretty high at 17, but we had a good view and we could tell who each of them were on this stage. And the screens were so much better at 17 too.
Yeah.
There was not enough screens at this Stray Kids concert. All of that to say though, minus the sound quality, what were your thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Where are we going to start?
Should we start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's kind of like look at the set list and like remind ourselves what went down.
Also, we have Han here with us if you're watching on YouTube. Lindsay got a Han Pickett from the K-pop store we went to.
He was not allowed to join us in the venue, but I did bring him in the car and he was part of the experience.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling like he's my Flat Stanley. I'm just taking him everywhere. And so we're happy to have a third co-host today, Mr. Han. You have anything to say, Han?
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your candor.
Okay, my first note is Hyunjin's hair.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about all of the looks.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hyunjin came out with black hair. I thought it was still kind of shaved or short, but it was
kind of grown out.
There was some growth. There was some growth to the hair.
That might be my favorite Hyunjin hair I've ever seen.
It looked very good.
Yeah.
Very strong black hair, a little spiked up, a little bit spiked up. That was very good.
I was shook by that because I think we had talked about that, what hair he would have. And I think we had said, oh, it's probably going to be short and buzzed. But he came out and
he was looking very good. I also loved Bong Chan's look. I'm glad he's back to dark hair, and it was just kind of messy, but slicked back. Yeah. Really loved that hair. And
Felix obviously took every single person in that venue's breath away.
Seriously. It was actually shocking seeing him in real life. And Rachel and I kept saying, how does his hair look so perfect? He had it in like a half up, kind of cool twisted bun with that had the
parts kind of sticking out,
spikes out.
I want to learn how to do that hairstyle because that looked
so cool, and it stayed the whole time. And he was just angelic the entire experience.
Yeah.
And then the other four just kind of had classic black hair, but perfectly placed. Like Han and Changbin had like, you know, the little bang that comes onto the forehead.
Yeah, they all looked good. I feel like the rest of them don't switch up their look that much, and they look pretty.
Yeah, they look solid.
Like
I don't need hair changes every comeback. I really don't.
Yeah.
Stick with what works for you. I feel like Han does that. He always has
this kind of vibe.
Yeah, like maybe it's a little bit shorter or a little bit altered, but he looks good in it. Stick with what you know. Maybe we should talk about the outfits too while we're on the looks.
So many arm belts.
And in our recent episode, I said that I hate arm belts. It's suffocating their biceps. Yeah. How do they get that locked in?
I saw so many on so many different men, and all I could think about was you.
But I gave them a pass.
Yeah.
They looked fine. They looked good. But Rachel and I, as you know, often roast K-pop outfits as our recent
all in good
episode.
fun, though.
Yeah.
I love K-pop fashion.
But there wasn't any that I like really want to roast.
No, I thought overall they were very strong.
I think the thing I disliked was Ian's kilt. But I'm very open about not liking the kilt.
Kilt pant combo.
Yeah, kilt.
He was wearing pants and a kilt that were the same color and style of plaid. So it was just a lot.
There was a lot going on.
Of plaid.
But so for the first outfit, they had all white, kind of military inspired with like combat boots.
Yeah,
or like marching band inspired, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was a cool entry because all the dancers were acting like they were in a marching band.
Yeah, there's some flags being waved. There were some people playing drums.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And they came out strong. I think it's hard to go to a venue this big because I know they're moving so intensely, but from where we are, it looks like they are not moving at all. Like they look so small. I can't really see like the emphasis. And
this is why we need a giant screen. Yeah, like blown up.
The grandeur of what's happening. Because we are so far.
Yeah.
And they look so small.
Well, imagine if we were up on like the top tier too. I mean, we were on the first level.
I know.
Kind of.
I wonder what the angle for looking at the screens is like from up there.
So as I mentioned, Bong Chan was kind of the MC of the night. The other ones didn't really talk too much. But something that stuck out to both of us immediately is the fact that he was saying performance instead of stage.
Huge alert. Green flag. I have brought this up many times. I hate how in K-pop the lingo is stage. They always say, look forward to our stage. We're preparing stages. And they're using it in the place of performances or performance.
Or song.
And Bong Chan only used the word performance.
Yeah.
I could kiss him on the mouth. I am so proud of him. I am so appreciative.
Yeah, that was huge. The first time he said it was pretty early on, and we literally turned to each other and we were like, he just said performance instead of stage.
Yeah.
And he continued to do so throughout the entire evening. So
Yeah.
that was huge.
Huge.
Shout out Bangchan.
Yeah, another thing Chris did early on is when they first introduced themselves and said their name, first of all, we couldn't hear anything.
Nope.
I know all their names, could not hear what they were saying or what they were saying their name was. But on the way, I said, Rachel, do you think they'll do anything in honor of Texas or like try to do anything like cowboy-y? And Bangchan did do like a tip of the, or I'm going to tip my hat. Yeah. And I think he then said like, is that right? Or something of the sort. So he was like trying to make a cowboy hat reference. Other than that, I don't think there's any other references.
A few of them, I can't remember who exactly it was, shouted out Texas Rangers a few times.
Okay. The team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because like they were facing the part of the stadium that literally said like Texas Rangers, like so huge. And they were just probably looking at that the entire evening.
Imagine if they were like the Yankees. When it's like clearly right
Plastered.
there. Another general comment is I was so impressed with the cameras. They had, and I think they have to do this because the venues are so big. There was a camera on a string that went like above the audience almost.
Yeah, that was
so then
cool.
it gave a perspective of the stage. And there are a few cameras that would do aerial like above the group. And there was a camera at the back of the stage. So they would go up and look at that. And so you can see all of them. And then it kind of pans back to the crowd a bit. And I did like all of those.
So many different angles.
The
one that was above was really cool. There was a few numbers that they did where they were doing some floor work. And so the angle being straight above was really cool to see that. Because I feel like you not really get the full impact.
Yeah, cameras are crucial in things like this because literally only a couple hundred people can actually see it.
Yeah.
Up close. So I did love that. I didn't love the cameras in terms of it really only showed one person at a time. And then when they were standing as a group and usually it was Bangchan speaking, like you couldn't see any of their faces or like anyone else, which I get you're focusing on the speaking person, but I feel like like Han, Changbin, etc. Like I never really saw them on the screen.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's true. Did you see the one that was kind of floating up in the audience? Did you look at that one? That one was different, showed different video content than the ones on stage, and I kept forgetting to like check that one.
Yeah, that one was too far away to look at the same time.
Yeah, it was so randomly far out in the middle of nowhere. The screens needed some work. That was,
again, I think it's all about the setup of the venue.
Yeah.
In that regard, but I feel like artistically the use of cameras was good. Yeah. And I feel like the video content was really cool and good too. And sometimes there was like filters on the cameras. The visuals themselves were pretty good because usually at K-pop concerts, you know, while they're changing or whatever, they play pre-filmed videos that are very dramatic and cool. I also liked when they started the concert. It was Felix and Bangchan on each side of the stage, which that's another point I wanted to bring up. They were playing different video on each side a lot, which is cool because it's like more variation. But then also sometimes I couldn't see what was on the other one, or like I can't look at both at the same time. Yeah. But it looked like they put their arms in front of them like crossed, and it looked like they're coming out of the stage.
That was cool.
That was super cool, and that was like the video that led to them coming out on stage. So that was like a powerful entry.
Something huge for me. Felix was well.
Yes. Okay.
We had said in our predictions that we were talking about on the last episode, we saw that there was an announcement from the company that said, like, you know, he might not be fully participating due to not feeling well or some kind of physical issue. So I was kind of expecting him to maybe be off to the side or like not doing the full choreo. But from what I could tell, he performed everything as normal.
Yeah, he did everything.
And I haven't seen other concerts, so I can't compare. Maybe he was dialing it back, but he was in every number. He was dancing. He seemed to be performing like normal. So that was huge for me.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that during the concert because there was no visible difference, or I didn't notice that anything was happening with him. And then I think at one point you were like, Felix is doing everything.
Yeah, I was like, he looks great.
And I forgot that was even like a worry or thought. Something that was powerful from the beginning was the duo of Han and Changbin.
Yes.
Their rapping is crazy, and it's kind of like the power duo we talk about with Sungwon and DK, where they always sing back to back. It's always Han and Changbin going back and forth.
Yeah.
And it's so fire flames.
It's so good.
And their little interactions and vibes were so cute. And I personally haven't gone to a K-pop concert where there's rapping to that type of rapping. Like very fast, intense, very cool. The rap I've experienced in real life has been more like K-pop-y rap, where it's like
talk rapping.
Yeah, and it's in like fun
more
K-pop songs, and they're just kind of like a rap.
Yeah.
But this is like they're going
very
for it.
Intense.
And they're very talented rappers.
I was shook to my core by Changbin. Mm-hmm. Every time he opened his mouth, my mouth was on the floor. Mm-hmm. I was like, and same for Han. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we love Han.
We already knew.
What got me really hyped was District 9. I don't think I understood how many parts Han had in that song, where he was not only, as he so often does, have an iconic rap, but he was singing in that song several parts like that were very high and very good. Yeah. So he was rapping and singing and just absolutely killed that song. And I think we turned to each other after that song and we're like, what?
Yeah. Han
just happened?
Kept surprising us. And I mean, he's our bias and we love him dearly. But his star quality was really on display. Yeah. And the vocals in particular were insane. This is way jumping ahead, but we have to shout out Social Path, the song that is with Lisa originally. Han took all of Lisa's parts and was singing the chorus. Absolutely stunning. I know we said we couldn't really hear the vocals. I could hear the vocals on that one. Yeah.
I mean, he was singing so high. He was singing Lisa's part. And he did it perfectly.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these songs that maybe I haven't watched the music video a billion times, etc. I don't have all the parts memorized, and I feel like Han had so many parts in all of the songs and a lot of singing parts. So I'm like, oh, he's singing again? I didn't know he sang so much in this song.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Our bias came through.
He came through.
Did not disappoint.
I showed why he's our bias.
I screamed every time he came on the screen.
Yeah.
I also feel like I screamed every time Hyungjin came on the screen. I just knew he was about to do something crazy.
Okay. Yeah, we have to circle back on what we predicted.
Okay.
So on our last episode, we had said who our bias was and then who we thought was going to kind of captivate us at the concert. You had said Han is your bias and Hyunjin would be the person that captivated you. Is that true?
I would say that's true, but I was also very captivated by Felix. I really was. And I always like Felix, but something about that majestic man in real life, and his parts were hitting. His parts were hitting, and don't cancel me. I've been known to say, like, why is he always singing so low? Why is he forcing his voice that low? But his parts came through. His parts really came through, and his stage presence was great. And the beauty is just out of this world. Yeah, he looks like a character from like a fairy book, but it's just like a different tier of humanness. Like it's
and he's like always been like that too. We came home and we're googling Stray Kids as children photos
naturally,
as one does, and he's been that adorable since
no surgery, no work done. He has always been so precious and beautiful. What about you?
So I said Han is my bias, and I had said, well, Felix is, I always call him my bias wrecker because has a special place in my heart. So those two are kind of, I would say, my favorites. And can I just say, I feel like they interacted a lot during that concert. Obviously, they have Truman, but then there was another part where they had kind of paired up to talk about their unit songs, and they were really being cute and like loved seeing them interact. So it was like my two favorites. Like I got to see them interact so much. It was great. I had said that Bangchan would be the one that kind of captivated me, and I would say that's true.
He also captivated me as well.
I loved how smiley he was. He just looked like he was having a great time and was so happy to be there. And he surprised me with his vocals.
That's what I was going to say. Me too.
He's
his performance star quality
singer. Which I knew that he was a good singer, and I more so see him as like the mastermind behind Stray Kids, like the producing genius, the guy who like made it all happen. And obviously know he's a good performer, but I was very, very impressed by his vocals. He was singing beautifully. Yeah, he was. Big love to him. And he really held this whole concert on his back. He really which did. We will get into. Okay, that is one thing I have to say. Why did no one else speak? Yeah. Basically, there wasn't actually that much speaking throughout the show. No. And when there was speaking, it was literally only Bangchan. We didn't really hear anyone else say any other words besides like hello, I'm whatever, and we actually couldn't hear that physically. So it really felt like he was an MC, and then and at certain points he was kind of prompting people to do stuff. Like who wants to lead the cheer? And like including other people, but we didn't hear from anyone else. And I mean, he did a great job like holding it down. But that was a very weird setup where it was just him. And they all speak pretty good English. I know. And you can have like pre-programmed things that you're going to say. Yeah. And obviously Felix speaks English, but then I think the other members are very good at English as well. So we were like, why aren't you guys saying some stuff? Yeah. And this might be a hot take, but I don't feel like there was that many interactions between the members, or just like cute bantery vibes, or like fun, I was gonna say segments, that's not the right word, but I guess we're just used to the 17 concert where they're constantly all bickering and laughing and telling jokes. And I feel like they very purposely at the 17 concert were like, all right, V8, introduce the next song, where like everyone was included at a certain point. Yeah, everyone got to say something, got their time. Yeah, and like Bangchan was basically just like giving a monologue and no one was entering the conversation. So it was just like Bangchan talking for a few minutes, and then like the next song started. Like, whereas like the 17 experience was just very different. I don't know, just, and we like the chaotic fun group, so I think I missed that part of it, of like seeing the group interact and having fun in that way, which Bangchan did great at speaking, but that was like pretty much all there was. Yeah. And on that note, we're gonna say no ments. Yeah. So at K-pop concerts, there's things called ending ments, MENTS. What did we say it stood for? Not sentiment. Was your guess sentiment? My guess was sentiment, but I forget what it actually is. Comment. So ending comments. And at every single K-pop concert I've been to, which has been quite a few now, at the end, every member has a few minutes to say something, and it's a little speech. They talk about how happy they are to be there, how much fun they had, how much they love the fans. You know, it's pretty generic. Sometimes it can be made special, but yeah, it's a pretty standard thing to do at K-pop concerts. Every member will go and just say something. And they did not do that at this concert. No ments whatsoever. Which I was sad that they didn't have those. Especially because we didn't hear from any of them throughout the concert, so. Yeah. I love getting that like personal aspect of them getting to say something. It just feels very personal and special, even if they say the same thing every concert, which they very well might. It's a nice sentiment to say something to your fans who paid a lot of money to be there. So that was sad that we didn't get to hear from them. Yeah. Wait, also speaking of that, they were speaking so minimally that it wasn't until maybe 3/4 the way through that a translator came on the mic and translating something. We were like, there's an interpreter. There's an interpreter here. We have not heard her voice this whole time. She randomly came in. We heard her for approximately 3 minutes. It was
no, less. It was like literally 3 lines. I think Bang Chan like asked Lee No a question.
Yes. That's
And like he had to ask it in Korean because Lee No doesn't speak English. And then she translated that. That was literally the only interaction. It was between Lee No and Bang Chan.
That's actually so true. That was the only time we heard her. And we were like, who is this lady?
Yeah.
Why is she just coming out now?
Which usually like the interpreter is translating all the men's and all of the commentary.
Yeah.
So shout out to her for like getting to make money just chilling there.
Yeah.
But that has to be so stressful. She probably just like has to listen so intently the entire time to hear if there's
hopefully
Korean.
she had some in-ears or something because she would not have been able to hear it that sound
But
quality.
you're just like sitting there waiting for something Korean to happen and like realizing when you need to like jump on the mic. But that was hilarious because this voice of God randomly came in like so far into the concert and then immediately left. Never to be heard from again. I wanted to talk about the duet songs.
Yes.
So they came out strong with like 5 or 6 songs, and then they changed and each came out to do their new like duet songs. First up was Han and Felix, which I love the song Truman. So good. And as you mentioned, just like your favorite duo, iconic duo, and they did so good.
I loved that moment. I also didn't realize how much rapping Felix did in that song.
Yeah. Well, Han was gone for like the first half of the song.
Yeah, he was completely like, not even there.
Where's Han? Felix was just controlling the stage.
Yeah. Oh, and you said during the song that you loved the choreo.
I love the choreo for that. The whole performance was really cool. Like dancers and stuff too. Loved it. Loved the outfits. They were commanding the stage. Yeah. They had like pink smoke bombs they brought out at the end, which was a fun touch. And as a performance, it was so cool.
That is just a great duo. I mean, I'm biased, but I loved seeing them together. Love that song. Love them together. It was great.
Yeah. And then it was Burnin' Tires, Changbin and Ian. Changbin and Ian came out, and Rachel...
This is when he was wearing the kilt.
Yeah, Rachel commented to me, why are they using these half mic stands?
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I forgot to put that down. They were both holding what looked like a mic on a mic stand on the screen, and you're like, okay, they're just using mic stands. But then they start walking and running around, and
it's like
the mic stand was it was probably 2 to 3 feet long, and they were just holding their mic on a stick essentially.
I think it's another case of what else can we do to make something different, because neither of them actually really wanted to use them. They both took them off.
Yeah, then they were holding the mic in one hand and the stick in the other hand
and using it as like a prop.
Yeah, I did not enjoy that mic situation.
No. And in each of these duets, I liked that they really had like some fun touch to make it exciting or interesting. Like I feel like the creative direction of these was cool. So they had like this button that they pressed and fireworks went off, and they had some other like confetti and stuff during their song too. So it was fun. It was high energy.
Yeah. I like that duo too.
Yeah, actually, surpringly, they worked well together.
They played well off of each other.
Yeah, I think
good energy.
I think Ian's personality as a whole was surprising to me. Because I always see him as like sweet boy.
Yeah, he kind of broke that stereotype a little bit.
Yeah, he's kind of buff as well. Unexpectedly so. Yeah. But lean buff, not a Changbin buff.
No.
But he did show his abdomen. Sorry, I don't know if that's a huge spoiler for other people going to the tour, but
expect a crop top.
The next duo, Escape, Bangchan, Hyungjin. This performance was cool.
This performance was so lit. A bunch of people came out. You couldn't tell where Bangchan and Hyunjin were. They just a bunch of people, backup dancers. Everyone was wearing white robes,
covering their heads,
and they just marched on stage. And you're like, "What's going on?" And then Hyunjin was first, and he like pulled his hood down
and started singing
from the group of people and started singing. And then when it was Bangchan's part, same thing. He turned around and like pulled his hood off. It was so cool.
It was really cool, and the video effects were cool. It was kind of like blurry, trippy vibe that they put on the screens, like the video footage. And the choreo was super cool, and they used the above the stage camera.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really impactful performance. And the dance was also very good.
Yeah.
And they were shaking those hips. And this song has been really growing on me.
Yeah.
And
I remember on first listen, I didn't really know what to think about it. But I kind of came around. But last night really solidified it. I was like, oh, that was fantastic.
It was a banger. Bangchan had double arm belts on each of the biceps. So
a lot of arm belts.
And then I think Hyungjin came on with his 2-piece.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 on the same arm. They were kind of connected. And then the last duet was Cinema, Lino, Sungmin. Silence. This is my least favorite of the duets, but they sounded good.
It was just a jarring experience to go from lit Stray Kids songs to Cinema back to lit Stray Kids songs.
Yeah, because they don't have any other solid
slow
song like this.
But they sounded good.
Mm-hmm.
Sungmin vocals popped off as per usual.
And again, they had a special cool element to each of the performances. And on this one, at the end, they had all of the names of people at the concert on the screen, which was cool. So I feel like the creative team like put effort into each of these performances to make them unique and fun and cool.
Yeah. I feel like the boys probably had so much fun performing these because it's not like the same old songs that they have to do every single time.
Yeah.
Gotta mix it up. And the performances were, well, at least the Bangchan Hyunjin one, they really tied into the music video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seeing the performance, it looked like an on-stage performance of the music video. Very similar vibes.
Yeah.
And they were very theatrical.
Actually, I think all of them.
All of them were?
Yeah. Like, Truman, that's kind of the vibes of the music video. And then Changbin and Ian, same thing. It's like motor racers.
Yeah. Yeah. They were all very theatrical and very cool and looked very fun to perform.
Yeah. I feel like I usually don't look forward to unit songs at K-pop concerts, but I loved all of these. I loved this section of the show.
Yeah, they were cool. Very unique. Probably will never do those again at another Stray Kids concert unless...
Yeah, because I think when they started the tour, they were doing their solo songs. Like, Han came out with the guitar and stuff. And then they changed to these. So I'm sure these won't stick around for the next tour. But we were able to see them.
Gotta love it.
Live.
Oh, another thing we just need to be so grateful for is how many times we got to hear the song Chk Chk Boom.
Oh my gosh. That was the warm-up song before they came out on stage.
Yeah.
They played that. And I stood up in the arena. I was getting it. And then they played it during the dance battle part.
Yeah. Well, they played the actual one.
Uh-huh.
They played it during the dance battle. And then they played Lindsay's all-time favorite K-pop song, Chk Chk Boom festival version.
It was a long road to get there. A long, winding road to get to Chk Chk Boom festival version. This was, oh my gosh, y'all. This song means so much to me. And I've obviously been studying the set list to make sure that Chk Chk Boom festival version is intact and on that thing. And there was a moment of panic towards the end because it was not played where I thought it was going to be played.
Well, they played a song that we didn't know.
Yes.
And we thought that was going to be the encore song.
Is that going to be the last song?
Yeah.
Or are they switching something up? We're like going to Spotify to see like what is coming next on people's lists from the Seattle show that happened. And I'm like, they did not decide to take it out at our concert. And it's confusing too because K-pop acts always do like 5 different encores.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to know like when it's actually ending. And we kept expecting it. We have video footage that we'll have to edit together. We keep thinking it's going to be it, and then it's not it. And then they're leaving the stage and we're in shock. And then Rachel, such a good friend, she's so positive. She's like, they're coming back out. She's like, I still have so much hope they're going to come back out.
Yeah.
And thankfully they did. And I went absolutely feral. I told Rachel I was feeling primal. Like it was a primal instinct that overtook my body. I Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine if I was close enough to like actually see them and like interact with them. I was just going crazy from the nosebleeds. Absolutely feral.
Yeah.
I told Rachel I hope someone in our section has a fan cam of me.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be called a fan cam.
Oh, just
a little psycho cam.
Yeah, just like a alert. Don't let this girl into any more concerts. Because Rachel and I are dancers. We're jumping, we're partying the entire time, and especially on that song.
Something I did appreciate, I feel like the audience, at least the people around us, were kind of up and dancing the whole time. Or at least standing.
They were up and standing. There's always at K-pop concerts people just filming the entire time.
Just sitting down and filming.
Which, okay. Yeah. But there was a lot of people moving and grooving.
Yeah. I mean, it would be hard not to at a Stray Kids concert.
I know. It's so high energy. It'd be so weird if you...
Like, how could you just sit while Chk Chk Boom festival version is playing?
That's impossible. That's actually impossible.
Yeah. We love that song, though. Festival version and regular version. And it played so many times. Like before, during, and after. Love it.
I know. I feel like there was another time during the thing that it came on. But, yeah, it was... Mm-hmm. It played not enough times, but a plethora of times.
Yeah. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, we got our Chk Chk Boom fill for sure.
Another thing I appreciated is they had lyrics on the screens for so many songs.
Especially towards the end of the concert. Like the last 10 songs, they all had lyrics, I feel like.
And the Korean part was like in the Korean characters, so that didn't help. But they had the English parts, and like kind of karaoke-esque, but like in a much more elevated way. Like at the bottom it looked really cool, and it wasn't distracting, and I liked that because one, it makes it easier to sing along, but two, I feel like I often learn, I'm like, oh, I did not know that part was in English.
Yeah. Oh, enlightening. Yeah, I agree. I love when concerts have lyrics. I would love all concerts to have lyrics to every song. Yeah, on like a certain screen.
Big sing along and dance along.
Yeah, I think that's so fun. I did appreciate that as well. Do you want to talk about when they came on the little carts?
Yeah.
So,
that was so fun. Yeah,
we thought they might do that. And then I wasn't seeing a cart, so I was confused if they were going to be able to, come onto the path kind of at the back of the floor and wave to everybody. And they were able to do that. And the lights came on. I liked that. It was kind of light.
So they could really see everybody?
They could see everyone. We could see them. And then everyone in the audience was just having so much fun. And obviously they could not see us, but we could see them from afar, but closer than the stage.
One of the songs they did on the carts, I think they did three was I Like It, and I love that song. But they were fully doing the dance on the cart. I was so impressed.
That was cool.
By them doing the routine while on a moving cart.
And we were also doing the dance, of course. That was one of the ones we maybe sang the most intensely. I Like It.
I have a really cute video of Bongchan. He was like waving so hard, kind of in our general vicinity.
Jack Daniels.
On the cart. And he just looks so happy. I loved getting to see him a little closer.
That was a huge takeaway too. You said he is so smiley. He was such a happy young fella.
I love when artists look happy to be there. I said that to Lindsay last night on the way home about Bongchan. He just looks so happy and like he was having a great time. And I love when you go to concerts and you see that and you're like, this is what they were made to be doing. Yeah. And they love it. It's not a job to them. Well, I mean, it is a job, but like they love every second of performing. Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah, he seemed so jovial. And he's such a good leader. I love him. He really is just like the energy setter of the group as well.
At one point, Changbin did a one-handed cartwheel.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, literally all I wrote on my notes app was CB cartwheel. That was so cool.
I feel like your reaction was like that he just did like a triple axel. I was like, I think you could do a one-handed cartwheel as well. It's so random for him to just pull that out.
I know. I think it was just the shock value of him just pulling out a one-handed cartwheel. Because it wasn't during a song. It was just like after a song, he just whipped out a little one-handed cartwheel.
It's so random. That actually is so funny. I wish we had video footage of that. I mean, I'm sure there's video somewhere, but Yeah, just like right after the
And he
song
doesn't
ends.
seem like someone to do acrobatics.
Like, why did he choose to do a one-handed cartwheel?
Like, I could see Hyunjin doing like some flips and stuff maybe, but like Chongmin doing a one-handed cartwheel is just
But I know
incredible
like,
to me.
one-handed cartwheel is impressive, but like I wouldn't do something like that unless I was doing a backflip. Like backflip is bare minimum. Like I'm not trying an acrobatic unless it's backflip level to 40,000 people.
That's true.
I'm crying. I'm just not pulling out anything less than a backflip on a stage of this magnitude.
I was impressed by the one-handed cartwheel, okay?
Not the CB acrobatics.
Oh my.
We love him. I'm glad his arm could hold him up.
Been hitting the gym.
Maybe he's
reason.
practicing, like, eventually he wants to do an aerial, which is a cartwheel with no hands.
Oh, he's
But
practicing.
he's, like, too nervous so he doesn't put his hand down. So stay tuned on this tour. He might be doing an aerial, no-handed cartwheel soon at a stop near you. Oh my gosh. We need to look up and see if he does that every show. Or if he just like was really feeling the energy. He like had to expel energy. It's like, let me pop a one-handed cartwheel real quick. You know what else? Sorry, not to dissect this cartwheel. But what I noticed is usually you stand with the hand that you're going to put on the floor closest to the floor. Like,
What?
so you have one hand and arm out. You're putting that foot on the ground and that hand on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then having your foot and hand not going to touch the ground up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of went diagonally.
Oh.
He put the arm at the back down. So maybe that was more of an advanced skill, but it was kind of twisted a little bit. It was kind of a remix on the one-handed cartwheel. Yeah, I noticed his form was kind of unique. Maybe that's the Korean way
Practicing.
of doing things. But I'm so glad you brought that up. That really was a memorable moment. We do need to talk about Hyunjin's sweat, which I talked about in the pre-concert episode about how I knew that he was a sweaty boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was maybe at the end of the first song, Rachel said, he is looking very sweaty.
Yeah, he is indeed sweating.
But good thing about K-pop concert is they go powder their nose about every 2 songs.
Yeah.
So we never got like crazy.
No.
I feel like the first set, which was maybe 5 or 6 songs, he was really
And that's
sweaty.
when they were in the full-on like jacket.
Yeah, the rest of the time he had his muscles out and kind of
Yeah.
probably had more breeze coming on stage. But that first bit of songs, he was immediately dripping.
Mm-hmm.
Still looking glorious and gorgeous, but I was right about my
Sweat prediction.
my sweat prediction. Yes.
Do you have any other thoughts?
It's all a blur. I'm not remembering any specifics at this time.
So the last thing that I want to end on is
My shoe?
yeah.
Well, you have to talk about this. Guys, wow. Do you want me to start from my POV?
Yeah.
Okay. So the concert has ended, sadly, and we are exiting the venue. We're walking upstairs. Obviously, it's very chaotic because thousands of people are trying to get up one staircase.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I'm wearing these big, like, combat-y boots that have a black platform at the bottom. Probably like 2 inches, not like crazy heeled
Yeah.
boots. We can insert a photo. And the whole black platform bottom seems to have kind of just slipped on out of the shoe piece. and is laying on the stair. I don't even know how I realized. I think I maybe took a step and noticed that my toe was just fully hitting the stair with no sole of the shoe. And I looked down and there it is. And it's kind of falling down 2 stairs where Rachel is. And I'm saying, my shoe, my shoe, my shoe. And Rachel picks it up and goes, somebody's shoe, somebody's shoe. And I'm saying, it's my shoe, it's my shoe. And she's like, somebody lost their shoe, and is like showing it to people on the staircase. And I'm like, Rachel, it is my shoe. I am barefoot at this time. The whole sole has ripped off. Fully left. Oh my gosh. It was, you can't write stuff like that.
That was so funny.
Really, truly unbelievable. So then I'm carrying this big black piece of plastic and limping out of the venue.
Limping out of the venue. I, on the other hand, didn't hear her say, that's my shoe. I thought she was pointing and saying, look, a shoe. And so I pick it up on the stair and I'm like, whoa, someone lost the bottom part of their shoe.
She's like,
I was like,
whoa, amazed.
I was like, someone must have danced too hard. And then I turned to Lindsay and she's like, it's my shoe.
And my foot is just like floating in the air. I'm like, it needs to go on there.
Yeah. And then it was just so funny watching. I was behind Lindsay as we were walking out, but just seeing her kind of hobble through the people, the masses.
Yeah, because there is quite a difference in height. I was left with literally nothing on my sole. It feels like I was wearing a ballet slipper. And we did immediately try to go to a gas station to get super glue. They do not sell super glue at this time or any time. And no other stores were open. So that'll be something to solve for another day. But that was absolutely hilarious. I think I just was dancing so hard and jumping so hard, and the heat radiating from my soul was so intense, I slipped right off.
Yeah, Chk Chk Boom festival version will do that to you.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen during the show. I might have just took both shoes off.
Yeah,
at that point.
Yeah, once we got out, we were debating whether or not to go home or to go to this like K-pop after party, and Lindsay was like, you know what? I'm just gonna rip the other one off.
I was ready to do it.
Anything for the dancing ability.
Yeah, but the shoe situation was part of the reason why we did not go.
Yeah.
And just energy levels were depleted.
Yeah. I was exhausted after that.
I mean, we still went to bed at 2.
Well, yeah, we proceeded to come home and watch videos.
But not for that long. I mean, picture if we would have gone out.
I know. But it was so fun. Stray Kids boys put on a great show.
Love them.
Every single one of them is so talented.
And every song is such a fun party.
Yeah.
Such a fun vibe. They put on a great show. Props to them. Props to the team. And it was so fun. Another K-pop concert. Checked in the books.
Yeah.
I was telling Rachel after that, I think my next show I want to go to ideally would be a really small show. I kind of want to experience something up close and personal, even if it's like a newer group or something. I don't know. I want to be closer where I know who each person is on the stage.
Yeah.
And don't watch the screens.
Yeah.
I was telling Rachel as well at the end, I was consciously trying to watch them on the stage instead of looking at the screens.
Yeah. It's hard though. Like you want to see their face.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then you miss the choreo. You miss
and
so
like
much.
the whole group, because again, like the camera's only showing one person.
Yeah.
But these groups are too big.
Mm-hmm.
So many people want to see them. What's a girl to do? And one day, we will be in the pit for something.
Yeah.
I don't know
that was
what.
one takeaway. We were like, at one point in our lives, we want to get pit for something.
Yeah, I want to be sprayed with the water. I actually don't. I hate when they do
I was
that.
Gonna say, I feel like I told you that.
But that would be, I've made it if I get a drip of water on me.
That's true.
That was also funny. side tangent. Towards the end, Bong Chan told everybody there was water that they could have.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that is what instigated this, but the last couple songs, the fans were throwing water at them and they were kind of having a water fight.
Yeah, that was funny.
From the stage, the members were throwing water and the people in the crowd were also throwing water.
Yeah.
Back up onto the stage.
That was cute.
Yeah.
I feel like the boys thought that was funny.
All right. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for listening to our full recap. Love the Stray Kids. Maybe we'll see them again in the future if they return to North America. We had such a fun, wild time.
Make sure to go check out our social media. We have been posting some fun stuff since we've been together in person.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some good content we're firing off. We are K-Pop Light Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out the YouTube. You can see our faces together.
As well as Hans. He is here with us. The triplets. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. We will see you next time. And until then, like, subscribe, and stay by our side.
And remember,
Fangirl responsibly.